Welcome to another episode of Around the Block with Jefferson Nunn, and I'm here today with very special guest Tony Pearce of Reality Gaming Group. How you doing today?
Very good, Jefferson. How you doing?
Awesome, awesome. So, Reality Gaming Group, tell me a little bit more. Is that, you know, where gaming
Yeah.
meets reality? Tell me more.
Okay. Well, some background firstly in myself because I'm a gamer. I come from 25 years from traditional games. So I started back in Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation 1. Then very early on into mobile gaming, we were actually doing texting games before color handsets even came out. So really was sort of pioneering that market. Then into Brew Java and then Apple and Google apps. And then in 2017, we had a mobile game called Reality Clash, which actually is available on the app stores now, both Apple and Google. And it was an augmented reality combat game. Really cool. It's like Pokemon Go, it's Call of Duty. You go outside and you meet up with your friends and you defend a park or something outside. And you go into combat mode by going into AR, and you turn into an avatar and you have a sort of AR shootout. It's super fun. Anyway, we looked at how the blockchain could tokenize some of our in-game items for that game, and to look at offering some of our users limited edition guns with super cool skins. We actually launched a whole crypto skinned guns, from Bitcoin skins to Ethereum skins to Litecoin skins to Doge skins, and we took this idea to Apple back in 2018, I think it was, saying that we've got this idea of doing tokenized in-game items, but people buy them off our website. And obviously it's against the terms and conditions of Apple because they don't make any revenue. But they were such a big partner of ours. We wanted to be upfront with those guys and go, how do we do this with you? So they actually agreed. And I still think Reality Clash is the only officially approved game on the App Store that has NFTs in it. And the deal that we did with Apple was, if a user buys an NFT gun on our website and downloads it into the game and uses it, they have to unlock it by buying an in-app purchase. So that's how Apple got their revenue. And it was that game that really was a game changer for us. It really made us think about, the opportunities around players owning in-game items and being able to sell them when they finished with it, or the longer term vision was the interoperability of taking that gun into another game. And I think it was that eye-opening moment of going, this could be massive. And the word NFT, by the way, didn't even exist when we were doing this. That we were literally working out what to do as we went along, and obviously tokenizing in-game items became known as NFTs. And that we doubled down on it, basically. So that's it. All of our games now will be connected to the blockchain or have some kind of NFTs inside them. And 3 years on from that, we're now a top 20 blockchain games developer in the world. We now work with some massive brands, including the BBC. And I know you're a fan of Doctor Who. So we have a license to create a Doctor Who trading card game where every card is an NFT. And the game itself comes out officially into open beta in October this year, 2022. So it is in private beta now. It is actually playable, but it's only playable to people that have founders tokens, which we offer on our website, and that gets you access to the alpha version, which is out now, and we're getting feedback. Feedback is awesome, by the way. But if you go on to the website, it's Doctor Who Worlds Apart. So the game's called Worlds Apart. You can buy the cards now. So we've been selling packs of Doctor Who cards in limited edition. So once they run out, we never make them again. So people are buying them now for a couple of reasons. One is they are simply Doctor Who fans and want to collect everything. These cards, by the way, are awesome. They're hand drawn. I mean, literally, we have the rights for every Doctor Who character going back to 1967, right? And what we didn't want to do, we didn't want to go to the BBC and just take archive images, right? We wanted these cards to look like collectibles, to be original, right? So every card was hand drawn. Every card had to go through, I'm not joking, 1 million approvals within the BBC. I mean, what's interesting, the Daleks, for instance, are owned not by the BBC, they're owned by the person that created the Daleks. You know, every character has different approval process. It's a nightmare, but we've spent 2 years going through that nightmare and now have something that's quite incredible. And these packs are now on sale. We've now, since putting the packs on sale, tokenized 1.5 million cards. As 1.5 million have been sold already, and the game's not even out. And so people are trading these cards, and now you can see them on secondary markets like OpenSea. And we also have built our own marketplace, so you can trade them off chain on the website now. So that's a key product release for this year. We have also just recently about to announce a deal with ITV for Thunderbirds. If you ever remember the Thunderbirds stuff.
Yeah.
So we will be launching later this year. You'll see it when the announcement comes out. Thunderbirds generative art. So it comes with 10,000 unique Thunderbird characters, of which you'll be able to use that character as a voxel asset in the sandbox. And there's a whole roadmap of stuff so you can use these. It is going to be fun. And whether you've heard of Thunderbirds or not, because it is an old brand, but has a huge fan base, it doesn't matter. The characters that we're developing are fantastic. So what happened with creating all of these games and fun stuff is we also created our own sidechain. So what we've always felt was an issue is the gas fees that people have to pay, the speed, and the not so much now because there's a lot of blockchains you can choose, but you know, energy and the sustainability on chains was a big concern for us and the BBC, right? That, you know, they're worried about this as anyone else is. So we built our own side chain. So we have a fork off the Ethereum blockchain, and everything that you buy NFT wise, whether it be Doctor Who or whatever, is minted on our side chain. All the marketplace is on our side chain, so there's no gas fees. It's quick, it's simple. You can buy the NFTs with a credit card, with PayPal, with crypto. You know, we want to make this as simple as possible, to the point we actually don't even mention NFTs on the Doctor Who website. And that's because we have these as collectible trading cards that you own. We don't want to confuse people. We don't want you to plug in MetaMask. We don't want to mention blockchain. The tech shouldn't be what we're shouting about. The quality of the game and the fun and the ease of it is what's going to make this successful. So the whole platform was built around that. Now, if you want to dig into the FAQs and really understand the technology, yes, that's there, but it's not thrown in your face. And then if you want to decide to take it back to a secondary market like OpenSea or to an external wallet, we bridge with Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, obviously Ethereum, and about to be Solana. So you choose which chain you want to use when you export the card out of your account. You decide if you're a fan of a particular chain, the price of the gas fees. We're agnostic. It's up to you. So there, at that point of taking the NFT off of our sidechain, you will need to have some kind of blockchain or NFT understanding, but it's only up until that point. So we now, the platform that we built, we now license to other companies. So if they want to have an NFT store with worldwide billing integrated into it, want it on our side chain, want a marketplace, you know, we can offer that as well. So that's another division. And then finally, so I mean, there's lots of different parts to us now. We also create what we call, I suppose, it's NFTs as a service. So if you are a celebrity or you're an IP owner or a brand that just simply wants to do an NFT and don't know how to do it, now we offer that full end-to-end service. So we can look at the product or the celebrity. We can research whether there's a market for it. We can do the tokenization and the smart contract, the tokenomics, the marketing. We can create the NFTs, whether it's an image, animated video, music. We do all that in-house. And and we can work with secondary markets. So we're a preferred supplier into OpenSea and Rarible. And one of the launches we did recently was for Floyd Mayweather, the boxer. So we did all of his NFTs, and we did all the marketing, the whole shebang, and then launched it through Rarible. And Rarible stuck it on their homepage, put it in their newsletters. So they partner with us to help market it. And it was the #1 selling NFT on Rarible for 30 days in a row. So we offer that as a service as well. So we're not just games, we're much bigger. And I'm doing a lot of talking.
No, this is fantastic. I've learned more in the last few minutes than I've learned in a long time. So, and you've touched on so many topics that I've thought about over the last little while. For example, the gas fees. For example, making this seamless to the end user. It's, I talked about it a while back. We haven't talked about TCP/IP, for example, in a long time because it just works.
Yeah.
Yet in 1997, it's all anything anybody talked about was, are you using the right WinSock or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, still going back to so many different things that you touched on that is just fascinating. For example, the first game that you came up with, augmented reality, just even looked into the future a little bit. Apple is talking about potentially coming out with an augmented reality headset. Others, Oculus Rift is certainly around, and HTC is talking about the whole metaverse thing. How would you plug into all of this? What do you think is next?
So, Web 3.0 literally is the talk of the town right now. So I think that is it's a big subject which intertwines ownership, NFTs, blockchain, metaverses, VR. All of that is part of that bigger conversation. So we are, myself and everyone in Reality Gaming Group, are massive fans of the metaverse. We haven't built our own yet, but we certainly love the idea of perhaps building one in the future. But at the moment, we're partnering with Sandbox and we work with Decentraland, and I think they've done an incredible job. And I don't think there's ever going to be one metaverse. I think there will be many where hopefully having NFTs means they're interoperable, so you can take them from one to the other. I think the reason you go to a metaverse is the content within it. So I think a lot of the metaverse is now doing a great job of getting brands in there. Think of it as, a Disneyland. You need good rides to be bothered to go there. It's going to be the same with a metaverse. It needs to be a reason to go there and fun. So, we're looking at, we own land ourselves in the Sandbox and looking to build things inside our land. Perhaps it could be a Doctor Who area, who knows. But no, great fans of that. And no, it's a brilliant time. The whole decentralized world that's appearing is something that we, back in 2017, just was an eye-opener, just going, this is going to be massive. And, there are lots of people going, no, it's not. It's like when mobile phone games came out. People laughed at us. We were one of the first, as I say, texting games. And then we had the rights to do Space Invaders from Taito. So we had Space Invaders on a black and white handset. It was a Nokia handset. And no one's ever going to play that on a black, crappy little handset. Guess what? It's now a $70 billion business, right? So you cannot underestimate, I think, what's about to happen over the next 5 years.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There is just so much, I think, revitalization of old brands and old ideas. What's old is new again, as the famous saying goes, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what along those same lines, if you're a content creator and you're looking to get into this space that's just seemingly overwhelming, what's a good guide to think about to get into this space?
Come and talk to us.
That's the easy way out, right?
Yeah, that's the easy way. The other thing that amazes me about this industry is, even though it's really 4 years old that people have started to tokenize things, it has moved so fast. It changes every month. So if I was a games company, or if I was someone looking into this, I'd step into it and do one thing at a time and learn about it, and don't think you can do everything, because things, play to earn wasn't around really until Axie Infinity came out, and now that's all you ever hear about, and that's 2 years ago max, and really it only became popular last year, and now everyone wants to do play to earn. Well, step into it. Play to earn is an incredibly hard thing to do properly. The tokenomics and the maths that go behind that game, so that the value of that token has value and doesn't die, because people are either winning too much or they're selling too much. The brains behind that is incredible, and they're not games developers, these are mathematicians, right? And then you need, on top of that, good games developers, and you need to make it fun and easy, right? So it's easy saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do pay to earn and all this kind of stuff. Actually, the reality is it's an incredibly hard thing to do properly, and there's not many people that can do it. And so I'd step into this by creating some NFTs first that you can use in your game, and then look at how users can use them in the game, how they can trade them. Are they doing it? Is this engaging? Is it fun? Are people do? And then maybe launch a token, and then look at governance and look at staking, and do it one at a time, right? Just build on it. Now, game never ends, right? You can always update it.
Quite right, quite right. So, well, tell me a little bit more about yourself. How did you come across crypto to begin with? Because it's, like you say, so new.
Yeah, actually, it was back to the Reality Clash game and the AR game. That, funny, when we were creating the AR game, we were also looking for funding for it. So we had my co-founder Morten Rongard. He's based out in Copenhagen. It was his idea. He came up with an awesome game design doc, and we went out to get funding through the normal routes of angels, VCs, and we couldn't get funding anywhere. It was, again, AR was so new, a lot of the handsets couldn't do it, and back in 2016, Pokemon Go hadn't even come out, and it was just incredibly difficult. So the problem is, after these things, you have these great ideas, but you've got to think, can the technology do it? And it's the same with blockchain games. It's only now that it's getting quick and easy and cheaper, and that took 4 years, right? And so anyway, so we went out to get funding, we couldn't get it, and I came across ICOs in 2017 and thought, that's an interesting way of raising cash. And so we did an ICO for Reality Clash, and we had an RCC token, which we created with a Reality Clash coin, and we raised 9,000 Ether in 4 weeks for that. And at the time, that was about $2.5 million, which was the price that we said it would cost to make the game. If I'd have sat on it, it was worth about 34 million now. But we were, you can't think like that. And we were a proper company, not a scammer company. So as soon as we raised the amount, we cashed out and we built the game. And that's how we got, by creating our own token, that's how we got into crypto. And then that's how we looked at blockchain. And then that's how we looked at NFTs. And that's how it grew to what we are now. Brilliant. So timing, something different, didn't know it was going to work. Kind of like right place, right time, really.
And that's the thing. Crypto brought your idea to life, and now you're getting into Doctor Who and so many more amazing things. And like I said, Doctor Who is one of my all-time favorite sci-fis. I remember watching it fondly on PBS, public broadcasting in the US. They were pirating BBC late at night. But hey, it's good stuff. So to that end, I mean, what do you think about all the different rights things as we go on? Because think about it, people are now going to be using NFTs to prove ownership. It's stronger than a copyright, right? Do you think that's going to be the future of rights ownership?
Yeah, everything will be tokenized at some point. Houses, cars, we're looking at pictures. Well, houses are now tokenized. You can buy parts of a house. You've seen artwork being done. I think what's changing with NFTs is it's much harder now just to sell a limited edition print or a limited edition bit of art, right? There has to be a reason beyond the art. This is for mostly, if you're a famous artist, it's a bit different than just the art. In other words, it has to have a utility. So whether it's like Bored Ape Yacht Club, where, you know, people go, why are people spending hundreds of thousands on a picture of an ape? Well, it's not a picture of an ape. It's a membership to a private club that you can only get into if you own one of these. And it's that gives it its value, right? It's the fact that this picture now gets me into these things and a roadmap of stuff that only I can get because I own one. And that's where NFTs are exciting. It's the VIP card to more things, and the image is just the NFT. And the proof of you owning it that opens the doors is the blockchain.
I think that's about the most elegant description I've heard in a long time. So,
Yeah.
Because there's certainly, if you look on Koatu and some, or what, I don't know how to say the print magazine name, but all these magazines that are game magazines and so forth saying, NFTs are a scam or whatever. I think it's largely because they haven't taken the time to understand the utility value. And so to that end, do you think all of these things that we have are going to get more utilizable? For example, the Doctor Who NFTs, the brands will continue to evolve and grant those future opportunities to NFT holders. Do you think that will happen?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and we have a founders token of which there's 1,967 of them, because that was the year Doctor Who came on telly. That's where that number comes from. And if you own one of those, I mentioned earlier, you get access to the game now, and you can feedback. You get private Discord channels, but you're going to get merch. You're going to get airdrops. You're going to get things that you won't get unless you have one of these tokens. And so the value of that token, because they're so limited, should go up. And because there's a roadmap of stuff ahead that you're going to get by owning one.
I know there's certainly more than 1,967 Doctor Who fans in the world.
Yeah.
So yes, that's going to get very exciting indeed. Well, this has been a very informative talk. I really appreciate your time, Tony Pearce. Do you have any final thoughts for our listeners?
No, I mean, and you're welcome to speak to anyone. You can find me on LinkedIn, and happy to help anyone that has any questions or wants to get into this business.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the show, Tony. Thank you.
Thanks.
Again.